Hi, this is Sean Gardner. I'm here with Annette Elizabeth in Texas, and Annette has an amazing story. It started up waking up with a life-changing morning of waking up to partial facial paralysis. So half of her face was paralyzed and slurred speech, droopy eyes, which led to ear infections and a lot of other stuff. I'll let her talk about that. But in my opinion, the smile is one of the things that we endure the most. And so our smiles are important to us. And when we have them and then one day wake up losing them, it's life changing. And she's going to talk about how she healed herself naturally, because that is the focus of this video and this show, is how to heal yourself naturally, using everything that's available to us that's natural. All right. And welcome, Elizabeth.
Hi, Sean.
Welcome, Annette. Sorry.
It's Annette. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Well, and it's funny that you said about the smile, and I just want to touch on that real quickly. Your smile is your signature. When you walk into a room and you can look at someone in the eye and introduce yourself and smile, that is what they see and they remember. So when you lose that ability to smile to people, to look them in the eye, to be able to connect on that level, it really is disheartening. So on December 11th in 2016, I woke up and I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. Now, going into that weekend, I had a great weekend. I went out with some friends on Friday night, celebrated. The only thing I can say is that on Friday night, I ended up slipping in my bathroom and hitting the back of my neck. I didn't pay much attention to that. It's like, oh, clumsy me, pay attention to what you're doing. That was a little sore. And I fell asleep on my sofa. So in falling asleep on my sofa, I fell asleep sitting up, watching TV, head back. Just, you fall into that deep sleep. Had a great day Saturday with my family. Sunday woke up. My husband, he does a big breakfast on Sunday for us. Got up too early to do some work on my computer, grabbed a piece of bacon and took a bite out of it. And I said, this doesn't taste right. Something was off with my taste. So that was kind of the first signal for me, like, there's something weird going on with me today. Maybe I'm getting sick. Maybe something is going on. And so I sat down on my laptop to work on some business and whatnot. As I'm typing, I suddenly started to feel the right side of my face become heavy. My eye became very blurry. And I'm looking at the computer and I'm blinking, trying to blink, like, wait a minute. So I couldn't. Got up, ran to the bathroom, immediately saw my whole right face I couldn't move it. It was so scary. It really happened suddenly. It's just like that. You just go, you just get paralyzed. Yelled out to my husband. I actually thought I was having a stroke. And, jumped in the car and got to the car. They thought I was having a stroke at first because I was just saying my right side isn't moving. I was more, freaking out on the face. They rushed me into the back room, started asking me tons of questions, and then put me in to have an MRI. And thankfully, it wasn't a stroke, However, they had said, you have Bell's palsy. And at that moment, I'm like, what is Bell's palsy? What is this? My husband was with me. One of my best friends came and ran to the ER when she found out. And I can see almost the pain in their face because I couldn't see myself, but I knew I couldn't move. And it was very shocking. It was just, what's Bell's palsy? What, my brain is going. And in the hospital, they essentially said, look, you're paralyzed on the right side of the face. Here's some steroids. Here's some antibiotics. It's most likely caused from a virus. And that was it. It was, give it some time. If you want to see your medical doctor, but there was really no other information given to me. So she left there, just, I have to find out what this is.
Did you go to a medical doctor after that?
Yes, but it was a few days later. So essentially, I left the hospital, got home, and just started reading as much as I could on Bell's palsy. What is Bell's palsy? What causes it? And actually, the first thing I said was, I need to call my chiropractor. I need to call the chiropractor. So this was a Sunday, left a message, emergency message. And they called me back and said, we're putting you in for the first appointment in the morning. And I didn't see the medical doctor until later that week, because as I was reading more, number one, I knew I didn't have a virus. I was not taking antibiotics. I did take the steroid because I was concerned with inflammation from what I was reading. And then Monday morning, I was in with my chiropractor, Dr. Bill Brantley out of McKinney. And I think one of the most important things when you're trying to heal yourself is to align yourself with folks who really believe in health and wellness. And I can remember him looking at me and asking me, well, what did you do? What's going on? Well, tell me your weekend. I said, well, this happened Friday. Yeah. Well, where did you sleep? And I said, well, I fell asleep on my sofa. And he said, uh-huh. He's like, what you did, it's a mechanical type of Bell's palsy. Yes, a virus can cause it. Yes, there's other issues that can cause Bell's palsy, but you specifically damaged your myelin sheath and you damaged your cranial nerve when I fell. And I had some sensations. So the unique thing about my chiropractor was that he prayed over me. And he asked me, hey, can I, and regardless of what your spiritual beliefs are, to have someone take words and put their hand over you and wish for you to be healed, it was really powerful. So we set up a schedule. He said, I need to see you every 2 days. You need to come in. We need to get these subluxations. And that's how I started my journey. He said, I want you to read up. I want you to, look into your diet, look into what you can do. And when we had a conversation, he said, you need to regenerate your cells. You need to look to fix that myelin sheath, which is, myelin sheath is the fatty connective tissues that protect our nerve cells. That's what helps us to be able to have good cell regeneration, to have good, your neurons, everything that needs to communicate. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense to me, just logical sense. And that's how I kind of started my journey into researching and making decisions to use certain holistic practices to heal myself.
So one key thing that I noticed right away from you is that when you got the bad news, that you didn't let that affect you mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Yes, you're dealing with something really hard, but in your mind, you're like, okay, I got to go home and figure out how to attack this.
Yeah, it's funny. And that's not to say I remember I had about three really good cries about it. Because, I'm human. I'm like, what the heck is going on? But when it first occurred, I was like, this is not going to be my situation. Like, I'm not going to walk around with a woe is me. It's funny, I had like a little motto. It was grabbing Bell's palsy by the balls. I'm sorry if it's inappropriate for some people, but I was just like, I'm not having it. This is not going to be, my outcome. So I was very gung-ho to do everything I could to, I have 4 boys, to smile to my sons, to smile to my husband, to go and get myself better. So yeah, I never fully embraced it. I never, fully said, I have this.
So Annette, I read a statistic that 5,000 people a year come down with Bell's palsy. However, in my research, it sure did seem like a lot more. And I am sure that many people get it and don't realize it, or
Yes.
maybe it's underreported, which we were talking about earlier, correct?
I have to say, in my personal experience, actually, when I got the Bell's palsy, I started looking for Bell's palsy support groups. And quite frankly, I find it hard to believe only 5,000 people a year worldwide. I've spoken to people in India and Germany when, we were all exchanging information. There's a lot more people. When I started sharing, as you know, I decided to share my journey on my Facebook timeline with my family and my friends, and kind of document the process. And it was for them, but it was also for me. It was for me because I knew I was going to beat it, and I always wanted to go back and use it as a point of reference. Like, I beat this. I made sure I got better. I wasn't, one of those people that never heal, because the reality is there are people out there who have had Bell's palsy for years and never fully recovered, never fully get their smile back. So I was reading, it was something that said like 23 out of 100,000. I was like, I don't believe that. I think there's a lot of underreporting. I think a lot of people, there comes a sense of embarrassment, of shame. A lot of folks that I spoke with they were devastated. They were devastated to go out to be seen this way. You've seen some of my pictures, and it's hard, especially, female, as a woman, you want to look your best. And I'd say that men don't feel that way as well, because men do. But it's painful, and it can really do something to your psyche, right? If you don't have that strong mental, there's people that they're suffering from it, and suffering from suppression, isolation. They don't want to be seen. Yeah. So I think there's a lot more than what's being said.
Yes. A few actors that have had Bell's palsy are Pierce Brosnan, Sylvester Stallone,
Yes,
and
that's right.
Angelina Jolie, and even George Clooney are a few of the people that are in the spotlight that have had Bell's palsy. So I think it's a lot more common.
Oh yeah, and you can see, if you look at pictures of them, some of them still have a little bit of that crooked smile. So yeah, absolutely. It is a lot more common than the numbers that we're seeing.
Yeah.
So, those statistics.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is a statistic or not, but it seemed in general about 20% of the people that come down with this do not fully recover, or do not recover at all. And so that's why we're here, because Annette's way that she handled this, in my opinion, is more than perfect. And so Annette, do you want to talk about some of the things that so the chiropractor was the first one that you felt confident with, right?
Absolutely. And my chiropractor was the one that actually got my wheels churning, when he started saying, cell regeneration, myelin sheath, you have to work on, your seventh cranial nerve. And as we started talking about the importance of, the spine health and what the nerves do for our body and our organs, I said, okay. I left him that morning, and I started reaching out to my network in the Dallas area. I have a very good friend who has a nice spa. And I said, you know what? I need you to connect me with an acupuncturist. And I want someone who is top of the line, who's well known, and who's, an Asian doc, that's their forte, what they've studied. And he said, I'm going to send you to who my mom goes to my mom and the older ladies in my community go to. So he referred me to this excellent Asian medical doctor in our Dallas area, and who specializes in acupuncture. And they got me in that day. So I saw my chiropractor that morning, and I went to see the doctor in the afternoon. And as soon as I walked in, super helpful, and discussed with me the points that he was going to work on. And again, he looked me in the face and said, we're going to get you better. You're going to heal from this. And again, that's aligning yourself with those specific, practitioners who believe in healing yourself, because then that helps you stay with that same mindset. So I did my acupuncture. He did on my face. He actually put on my foot. There's certain points that he chose to work on. And I remember a point, and I don't know if you ever done acupuncture.
Yes.
There was a point that my leg just shot up. And it was just I was like, okay, this is something interesting going on, but I can feel tingling. And this was literally 24 hours later. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I left him, went home, and started to research again. Fortunately for me, I had a great group of girlfriends who stepped up to help make meals for my family. I had a great supportive husband, my kids. I had a really good support system. Started researching some more. Ironically, about 2 weeks prior to that, my company had a health and wellness expo, and I met we had some massages. They had a massage group come in, and I happened to meet this lady that we just connected. And I got my free 15-minute massage, and she was able, in that 15 minutes, to kind of dislodge something in my shoulder. And I said, yeah, I want your card. I need to come see you again. And little did I know, 2 weeks later, I would be looking for her card, on the phone with her, obviously upset about, I need to get on this. And that was Monday. Tuesday morning, I was in with her. So as I'm researching, Monday, of course, changed my diet completely. The thing is with Bell's palsy, your seventh cranial nerve is inflamed or damaged. So what can I control? I can control what I eat, right? So at that same token, I started sending my husband out. I need, cilantro. I need fatty. I need, fish. I needed, certain supplements that I started sending my husband on a mission to go and get some items. Tuesday morning, I met with the massage therapist. And again, I like to say my angels, someone higher up placed me with a person who believes in healing holistically, naturally. And we talked, and she said, I need to put my hands and pray over you. And of course, again, I'm like, absolutely, whatever you need to do, just let's get the ball rolling. And I ended up establishing a great relationship with this woman. She did lymphatic drainage massage. She did cranial. So, and she explained to me what's happening is, we need to get the parts, the bones and your cranial bones kind of moving a little bit to get that blood flow, to get the cells going. She did Reiki massage on my foot. She did several things for me. It's funny, that first massage, I didn't even know I had a rib out of place. So in her massaging me, one of my ribs fell into place, and I was like, I can breathe. She said, yeah, you had a slight misalignment of a rib. So this again is aligning yourself with people who know what they're doing and who support your journey to heal.
Yes. Unfortunately, if a regular medical doctor may have given you pain pills for that as well, which, most medications, we all read our food labels. So we also need to read the labels of medication, because
correct,
every medication, there are side effects. And so you got to learn that, because, it could be a hamster wheel. And so I encourage everyone to really dig into whatever you're about to take, even if it's aspirin. Yeah.
Correct. And and it's funny because now that you're saying that, with Bell's palsy too, you tend to get ear pain. So because it's inflamed, there's that pressure going to your ear. So I had a ridiculous amount of ear pain, and thankfully, my chiropractor, he was working on, doing some massages, he did something where he tugs on the ear to help drain. And that was the purpose of the lymphatic massage, of helping whatever liquid, whatever I had there that was blocking, to help my body drain it out.
Great. Yeah. And then can you talk a little bit about nutrition, how you changed your nutrition as well?
Oh, absolutely. So, I started looking on Pinterest, Pinterest boards, anti-inflammatory, or looking on, Google or Yahoo, just researching anti-inflammatory foods and meals. I incorporated very high, salmon and scallops, shrimp and garlic and cilantro, celery, I was making turmeric drinks. You know, turmeric's a well-known anti-inflammatory. Um, you know, you name it, I was doing it. Water with lemon. I was having my berries. There was absolutely no, no alcohol, no coffee. You know, just kind of purely just cleaning out my system, whatever maybe junk I had. Just eat very healthy. Eat to heal yourself. So.
Now, some of the stuff, like juicing and turmeric
Mhm.
drinks and those seen with B12 and stuff, it
Mhm.
must, it must taste awful if you haven't done it before, correct?
Uh, there's always a way to make it taste. You throw in a green apple, I did, I had a beet. I looked up this beet protocol, and it was half a beet. It was an orange, to get your vitamin C. It was the green apple. And it was just, essentially, I'm the type of person, I don't care how bad it tastes. It's going to help me get better. I'm drinking it. I will chug it down. So the majority of juicing and things that I drank, I made it my business to just chuck it up. The bigger goal was me getting healthy. The bigger goal was me being able to smile to my family and saying, I'm not going to be this way. And if I can, that first week was really interesting to me because I continue with kind of a cadence of, I would do my chiropractor who's doing manipulations, and I would see the acupuncturist, and then I'd have a day with the massage, and then I had a rest day. And then as I was home, um, it was, I want to say that by the end of the week, I started thinking, you know what, I may have to take medical leave. Because by the way, while I was doing this, I still went into work. I was still crazy enough I couldn't blink my eyes. I walk in with an eye patch, and I'm like, I'm here. I can hardly talk. And I had a great support system at work, my executive and the team that I work with were like, look, you need to go home. You can work from home, go and heal yourself, rest. But that's just the type of person I am. I will still come in and try to get the job done.
Yeah.
I get to go see a medical doctor because I started thinking I may have to take a true medical leave because nothing was going to keep me from getting better. And I did. I did go see a medical doctor, and quite frankly, they're going to say what they're told, learn to say. She asked me, when did it happen? I said, well, this happened Sunday. Well, what have you been doing in the meantime? And I'm so excited and happy. I'm like, well, I'm doing chiropractic care, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And she was like, well, why didn't you take your antibiotics? I said, because I don't have a virus. I know I don't have a virus. I know, having conversations and collaborating, right? Because I'm all about collaborating on my health.
Yeah.
I'm the final speaker in my health. No one else is.
Okay. So I want to interrupt you. So most Bell's palsy cases are diagnosed as coming via a virus. And so that just shows that we at all times need to be preventative instead
Yes.
of and by taking care of our immune systems and keeping our
Yes.
immune systems healthy so that
Yes.
this never pops up. And Net's Bell's palsy was due to the fall. And
Right.
which
Mechanical, which is what says a mechanical issue that you had. So.
correct. Yeah. And however, everyone else that does get Bell's palsy, you must once you hear virus or anything virus, that's
Right.
cold flu virus, that's when you must research and start learning how to boost your immune system and boost
Correct.
it beyond amazing levels. And just a quick example, there are people, lots of testimonials out there of people that have healed themselves from cancer with high dose vitamin C, so high dose
Yes.
vitamin C injections. And
Yes.
and me and Annette have both been down that road where we have done enough research to know that the proper nutrition and high amounts of nutrition and supplements and the right vitamins and the right anti-inflammatories can get rid of a lot of illness and sickness. So go
Absolutely.
ahead. Yeah.
No, I think it's a great point, for myself once, and of course I did take the steroid. I did take it because I was concerned with, I wanted to do everything I could to just help any inflammation. With taking steroid, that also affects your immune system. So I took specific, high doses of vitamin C. I took Sovereign Silver. I took my elderberry. I took anything that could keep me going and not affect, health-wise. B12, I was taking a linguistical, the massage therapist, she gave me a spray for B12, and I was spraying B12 in my cheeks. I was doing my vitamin D3. I was taking biotin. I was taking, there's this little, this was referred by a holistic nurse friend of mine, and this is collagen hydrolysate, and this helps with the fatty tissues and the collagen that you need. So in this, I put in, if I was drinking green tea, I also started taking some lion's mane. I went to the health and food store and I sat down with them and I walked in and I said, I need everything and anything that can help me keep my brain going, get my cells regenerated, help build my myelin sheath. And they were fantastic with it. And then going back to the medical doctor, when I visited with her and we sat down, I felt as if she was a little bit annoyed that I took my own path. She had stated there's really nothing you can do to help yourself get better. Some people, it takes 6 to 8 months, and some people never fully healed. And that for me it was not something I wanted to hear, because meanwhile I had these 3 other practitioners saying, you will be healed. We're going to heal you. And here I was told, well, there's not really much you can do. And I looked at her and said, no, ma'am, I'm going to heal myself. And it pretty much, our meeting was very short. It was, well, this is what I'm doing. And she just felt I just had to wait it out. And it was just something I didn't agree with. And so I saw the medical doctor, thanked for whatever info she could give me, which really wasn't much other than taking the pills and waiting it out. She never looked at my ear, which I was telling her my ear's in pain. I still had that ear, my ear clogged up. And I left and I left even more on fire to get better. How dare this person tells me it's going to take me 6 to 8 months to even smile to my kids? Are you crazy? You don't know who you're talking to. So I left there and then continued. I actually started incorporating other things. I became very close with the massage therapist, who I learned that, not everyone, it's a really hard certification to learn how to do lymphatic drainage of the body. She's worked with cancer patients. She worked with numerous patients on helping them to heal. And she started telling me, start watching some happy heart movies, is what they call it, happy heart movies, because you're generating these good feelings of laughter. You're actually almost causing your face to smile. So you get into that depression. I can definitely see how someone with Bell's palsy can get depressed. Because it can happen when you go and you see yourself in the mirror. You can't blink your eye. You really, it does something to you. I would never even wish it on my worst enemy. It's that traumatizing to be paralyzed in your face. And I'm trying to think of all the, I did everything I could think of. I did color therapy. I did visualization therapy, visualizing myself smiling, laughing. I took Epsom salt baths. I meditated 2 to 3 times a day. So once I got the go ahead to just work from home, and I think of folks that still have to go to work. There are some people that still have to go to work. So what I'm trying to do is share some key points to make sure that you stay hopeful.
Yes.
Take 5 or 10 minutes of your day just to meditate, clear your mind, visualize yourself happy, smiling, loving. So I did that. I started researching facial exercises. So I would force myself to kind of say the alphabet, to say my name. I look myself in the mirror and literally say, blink, blink your eye, blink your eye. And I have to say it was challenging, but I started seeing the little wins. So as I'm doing this, I'm still in Bell's palsy groups. I'm still watching people say, I'm so depressed. I've had this for 6 months. I haven't had it. And I'm like trying to share like, hey guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm having some small results. And it was something I felt I had to take action on.
Yes. So you came across a lot of misinformation and negativity, correct?
I did. I remember I had one particular person, and I'm just exchanging, saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing these results. I had one person specifically tell me, well, no, my doctor said, not to, it's like a broken leg, just leave it alone. And I'm thinking, a broken leg is a bone, this is like, these are your facial muscles and your cells. What happens when you don't move for months and you lay in bed, I'm like, you have to be constantly, touching and moving your face. And so that I found to be outrageous. And I think, so many people just blindly trust, right? And we lose just logic. Like, let's logically talk this through. Let's logically figure this out. Because if you're not moving your facial muscles, how are you keeping them nimble and ready to, to work? So I did receive some backlash from people. It is. I'm not gonna say it's not cheap. A massage session is like $110. You're doing 60, 90 minutes. Thankfully, my chiropractor. There's chiropractors out there. They're $40 a pop, and I just shifted, and I kept telling people, well, if you can spend this amount of money to go out, or this amount of money on shoes or on your nails or this, there's no amount of money that I want to spend to get my health, to get to smile, to get to feel, you look how you feel, and you feel how you look. So and then a lot of people I started having, as I got into week 2 and started seeing the progress, as you know, I started documenting everything. I started having people quietly message me. And that meant a lot. And that gave me the ammunition to keep going. And I had a deadline. It's funny, I was diagnosed in like the second week of December, and January 1st, I had gotten a promotion and started a new position. And I had to go fly out to Miami 2 weeks after that. And I said, I am going to get myself better. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this illness. I have things to do. A whole lot of life to live. This is not happening. And I think that was just, I had so much motivation. I had a lot of things to look forward to. I said, I will be damned if this is going to be my life. And it's a mindset. You just have to say, I'm going to do this. And, that's why my hashtag was grabbing Bell's palsy by the balls. And I was like, this is just, I'm sorry if it's inappropriate, but I'm just like,
yeah,
make it happen. And as time progressed and I started to share, I would have friends who would say, hey, my husband had Bell's palsy, and I'm reading testimonies from people saying, the doctor told him not to do something. And, it took him almost a year and he still never fully recovered. And that blew my mind. And I was just like, there's no way, that is not happening to me. I also bought, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're like the little finger scalpel massages.
Oh, cranial massages.
The cranial massages. So, I mean, I'm literally home watching funny movies, just doing the cranial. Everyone's walking. I'm like, yep, I'm doing my cranial massage. It was just nonstop. It was a nonstop. I was obsessed with getting better. The color therapy was great. My husband, I went through a period I wanted just yellow bright, and bring me these beautiful big yellow roses, and switched over to green therapy, and then food.
Did you still exercise at the same time, Annette?
I did. I was doing light, very light.
Okay.
I spent my home just very light, maybe 10 minutes, just to keep going, moving, keep my body, in action. And then the Epsom salt baths. I'm trying to think what else. The massage therapist she had recommended, and this is for anyone, she calls it, I think, the raccoon massage. So essentially, we get do it here, and she had shared with me a massage to just, the pressure points here, and underneath here, and we're pushing it down into the lymph nodes. She had told me, she's like, everyone should do it every morning, like 5 or 6 times. All your little points here, and you're pushing it down to help drain whatever you have. And things like that. On YouTube, there's tons. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. And all the information says the opposite of staying still. It says do the exercises. I also did, I took fish oil. As I was massaging my face, I massaged fish oil into, and you name it, I was doing it.
I think I would be trying to put some CBD oil into my face.
Oh yeah. Well, and at that time I didn't have any CBD. Trust me, I would probably be doing that as well. And then took heavy, DHA, my DHAs. They gave me something, and I wish I don't have it anymore. It was the liquid, and it's called Neuronectar, and that was specifically for brain health. So again, in drinking through, I actually just found the beet juice protocol, and the beet juice was 3 squeezed oranges, 1 green apple, a handful of parsley, and a 4th beet, and it was delicious. And so I really, really did everything I could. So.
And your journey, people have reached out to you, and you've ended up helping others as well, correct?
Oh yeah, I've had, I shared my story on Instagram, and I ended up making friends with several people. You put the tag Bell's Palsy, you put, they see the 3 week, and I was starting to get messages from people like, and of this is where I'm at, what do you think? And I was just, of course, all I can do is share my experience. Everyone else, just this is what I did, and this is the why. I actually just had recently a girlfriend of mine who's a nurse in New York reach out to me for a friend of hers to say, Annette, I need to know what you did, which I found kind of, I was like, absolutely, I can just share what I did and take it and run with it.
Yeah, great. And then Annette also, so the negativity, because a lot of people, I saw this researching. I didn't go into the Facebook groups, but researching people's posts, they would kind of accept their diagnosis, and which is the big difference from you. And then a lot of people I saw on YouTube too, because a lot of the YouTubers were talking about their experience and how they were trying to deal with it. I saw one gentleman on there, mid-30s, and he was getting out for hikes in nature every day, and which I think I also saw that stress could be a trigger of Bell's palsy, and stressful situations can be a trigger for cancer. We could be getting a lot of toxins in our body, and we could be, eating a lot of junk food and crap food and not organic food, and then just have with a stressful life, and then all of a sudden we're gonna get cancer, and that same thing can one day we can wake up with Bell's palsy.
Yeah. And when and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's just, as you're saying, I'm thinking, you're essentially kind of laying the foundation for illness. When you have that stress, when you're not taking care of yourself, when you're constantly in this type of mindset. And you're right, a lot of people do get depressed. It's almost an individual person, that maybe it's their circumstances, maybe they don't have, some people I spoke to, they didn't have the means to buy some of the supplements. But I always told them, but you can control what you're eating. You can control what you're drinking. You can control, going outside and getting some sun and just smelling and those type of things. But I do feel that a majority of people with Bell's palsy, they do fall into that trap. And again, I had 3 really good cries during those 3 weeks, but they were very quick and short. I was like, I gotta let this out. I didn't do the why, do any of that. It was just like, this is what it is. What am I gonna do to fix it? And people have to be hopeful. The body wasn't meant to be in a state of illness. You know, the body is meant to be vibrant and healthy and happy. So you have to remember that, is that we're divine and we're created to be healthy and happy.
Yes, correct. So Annette, the reason I brought you on this is because I have a website and I'm a health coach,
Mhm.
and I will be putting this video on Facebook. I will be putting this video on YouTube, and I will be putting this video on the blog post at healthyu.coach. So that's healthyu.coach. As for everybody that wants to come and look at that blog post, and later on we will have references referencing back to some of the things that Annette used to heal herself, like the chiropractor, the acupuncture, the nutrition, the massage therapy, the lymph massage, the facial massage, and the nutrients, vitamin B12, and that talked about vitamin D3, high dose vitamin C. These are all really important. And so these are things that will help you get you on your journey if you currently have Bell's palsy, or just to know about this, because all of these same things are good whether you come down with cancer or anything. You know, these are all healing things and boosting the immune system. Annette, is there anything that you feel that we left out of our conversation that's important for people to know?
I think I just, you know, as we end our conversation, I want to remind folks, you know, if you're dealing with Bell's palsy, I identify with, you know, those moments of despair. If I'm ever going to look the way I looked before, if I'm ever going to be able to go out in public, you know, and be able to function. And I just want to say, you know, keep the faith. You are created in a beautiful image, and to continue to believe that you are meant to be healed. Every day I woke up, I must have said it maybe over 100 times throughout the day, I am healed. I am healed. I mean, even as I'm saying, I'm getting like my hairs are standing up, because I literally believed it and I affirmed it and I took action.
Yes, yes.
It's never too late to heal yourself. So if you're sick, just start the process, start believing that you are meant to be in a healthy state, because you are.
Yep.
So
I believe in the power of forgiveness. I believe in the power
absolutely.
of meditation. I believe in praying. I'm
Yes.
religious. I'm spiritual. And,
Yes.
you know, I believe in the natural healing arts and the natural energy of the earth. And when you need to bring that power in to heal yourself, bring it in, bring it all in, right? And that,
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have all the tools in place. You have a smart thinking mind. Just think it through and do what works best for you. And if you feel, you know, working with your medical doctor, that's fine. You know, I'm not here to bash, or do what's best for you, but make sure you are in control of that decision. You own your health, you alone. So,
correct, correct. Well, Annette, I really thank you for your time. This has been an amazing interview. You're so beautiful. You're so well spoken. And I know this video is going to help many, many, many people. And I really appreciate, yes, I really appreciate that you're taking time out of your schedule to reach out and help others. That's amazing in itself. Yes.
oh, great. Well, I wish everyone the best of luck. And, you know, I think you shared some of my information. I'm available. Reach out to me through Sean. And I'm cheering you on to good health.
Yes. Thank you, Annette. All
All
right.
right. Great
Thank
one.
you, everyone. Bye.